Hi, Andy XL back with another NFXL podcast in the build up to the 2026 NFL draft, ramping up my coverage more and more now. Here's an early April update with less than 3 weeks to go for the inside linebacker and safety classes. Now, in terms of inside linebackers, teams that I think might be looking to add in that area are headed by Buffalo, Detroit, Indianapolis, and Tampa Bay, with Atlanta, Dallas, Jacksonville, and Philadelphia following them as other teams in need. So the top 8 in this positional draft class may be the ones to fill those needs on days 1 and 2. I have 13 more inside linebackers in draftable positions on my big board, but only 7 other needy teams. So after day 2, supply is greater than demand, so this could be another class that sees the lower ranked candidates slide come draft time. But let's have a look at those top 8 to start with, and they really are clear of the rest of the class from what I can see. And they are Arvell Reese of Ohio State at 2, his Buckeye teammate Sonny Styles at 5, CJ Allen of Georgia is then the the next guy, but he's in round 2, start of round 2 at 33. Anthony Hill of Texas, another round 2 guy at 44. Jacob Rodriguez of Texas Tech at 47. And Jake Golday of Cincinnati at 52. Make it 4 potential round 2 guys for me right now. Into round 3, and we get Kyle Lewis of Pittsburgh at 71 and Josiah Trotter of Missouri at 77. Now, they're the top 8, and they appear to be clear of the rest of the class. Followed by Jyshawn Burrow of Michigan at 113, Deontay Lawson of Alabama at 123, Harold Perkins of LSU at 134. Those 3 have all got good chances as well, and may even go higher than that. Burrow and Perkins in particular have a chance to find a team that has a higher opinion of them. At 12, the rest of the class are really scrambling for places, I think. Torian York of Texas A&M is 170 on my big board. Keyshawn Elliott of Arizona State at 188. Aiden Fisher of Indiana at 192. Lander Barton of Utah at 211. Jack Kelly of BYU at 218. Red Murdoch of Buffalo at 224. Owen Heinicke of Oklahoma at 238, Justin Jefferson of Alabama at 244, and Jimmy Rolder of Michigan at 253. Make it 20 inside linebackers in draftable positions for me right now, but a lot of them might end up in depth type positions because I think the first 8 or 10 are going to hoover up the good positions. Right, quick sip of coffee. I cough. Before I move on to safeties. Now, this decade, an average of 6 safeties have been taken in the first 3 rounds, with another 15 taken on day 3. In this draft, safety is one of the stronger classes, with 8 worthy of day 1 or 2 consideration, and 3 of those being good enough to go in round 1. And with up to 10 teams that include Arizona, Chicago, Denver, Indianapolis, the LA Chargers, Miami, Minnesota, Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Washington, who could certainly look at taking a safety on day 1 or 2, demand matches the high level of quality in this class too. So those ranked between 4 and 10 may see their draft prospects benefit as a result. 7 more teams have a need at safety, so up to 17 of these could go by the end of this draft, which matches the number I currently have in the top 250 on my big board. Or sorry, in draftable positions. Yeah, top 250. I suspect we could see a rush for the top safeties in the early rounds before demand diminishes in the mid to latter rounds. So here are the top 17 as I see it now. Caleb Downs of Ohio State at 9, Dylan Thieneman of Oregon at 19. On my big board, Emmanuel Neil Warren of Toledo ranks 27 on my big board. Then there's a gap to AJ Horsey of LSU at 57 as we drop into round 2, and he's the only round 2 I've got right now. In round 3, I've got Genesis Smith of Arizona at 72, Kamari Ramsey of USC at 74, Zachy Wheatley of Penn State at 80, and Bud Clark of TCU at 93. So they're the guys I see, 8 guys I see going on days 1 and 2. I don't have actually anybody in round 4 right now. As I say, I think there could be a big drop off after those first 8. The rest of them are Michael Taff of Texas at 144, VJ Payne of Kansas State at 151, Lewis Moore of Indiana at 177, Bishop Fitzgerald of USC at 189, Jacoby Thomas of Miami at 198, Deshaun Singleton of Nebraska at 201. Robert Spears Jennings of Oklahoma at 212. Jalen Stroman out of Notre Dame at 214. And Maryland Terrapin Jalen Husky at 228. So that's my inside linebacker and safety rankings with less than 3 weeks to go to draft day. The final piece in this sequence will be the cornerbacks, which will be coming up very soon.